Welcome to this lesson on key action number 2. Here, we will learn how it helps us better plan and organize when we can effectively determine tasks and resources. Jesus spoke of an old wisdom proverb when he said, "Before building a tower, consider the cost." Another good quote, "Go to the ant, consider her ways and be wise, which having no captain, overseer, or ruler, provides her supplies in the summer and gathers her harvest in the winter." Quotes like these remind me to consider what I need for a planned project or activity. Planning for the resources we need for a task will assist us with managing what we do with time. And people to do the project and time are our most valuable resources. We determine project and assignment requirements by breaking them down into tasks. That makes it easier to identify the types of equipment, materials, and the people needed. After prioritizing your assignments, develop a plan for completing each assignment. This involves identifying the required actions and resources. The first thing you must do is gather information about your project and activity requirements. This helps to confirm details and alert you to issues that need to be addressed and actions that need to be coordinated. Sources of information include project originator, project team members, experts inside and outside the organization, colleagues or peers who've completed similar assignments in the past. Secondly, by consulting with people involved with the project, you stay on top of critical factors, including the need for additional resources, barriers that need to be broken down, and available contingency plans. Information that is critical to developing a solid plan can be compiled into 4 main categories. The first is assumptions, which refer to predictions and conclusions that people make about factors essential for the success of a plan. These include external circumstances such as economic or member growth or decline, management support for the plan, anticipated reaction from critics or competition, and project constraints such as scope and completion date. The second category is guidelines, which are the organization's standards, practices, and procedures for implementing the plan. They might include work standards, safety practices, approval specifications, and other relevant guidelines. The third category is resources. Checking resource availability is integral to information gathering. Inquire about such resources such as staffing, budgets, technical expertise, equipment, supplies, information, and facilities. The fourth category is actions, which are the things that need to be accomplished to carry out the plan. When you gather information in this category, you can learn what people recommend about the project's activities, assignments, and tasks required to fulfill the plan. The second important thing you must do to determine tasks and resources is to break down assignments into discrete tasks. When gathering information and determining assignments, remember what number 3 in your guide says. The people responsible for projects and assignments must determine and plan their corresponding activities. Remember, complex assignments require detailed descriptions of every task and their interrelationship, while more routine tasks might need a list of tasks. Break down the project or assignment into manageable components by identifying the tasks and subtasks and listing them in the order they must be completed. For example, see the following graph illustrating a retail company initiative. You will see in the left column, the first goal is to decrease customer complaints by 10%. The assigned activities are to conduct a customer satisfaction survey and implement an action plan to bridge gaps in service. In the right column, you'll see a list of tasks that will need to be performed to accomplish the assigned activities. These activities are required to achieve the main goal of decreasing complaints. The second goal has assignments and tasks assigned to it in a similar fashion. Review how the process unfolds and do the exercise on the following page after reviewing the example. And I'll see you back here in 10 minutes. The third important thing you must do to determine tasks and resources effectively is to anticipate resource needs. Anticipating the resources you'll need is critical to complete any project successfully. A resource is any person, place, or item required to perform a task. To realistically define what you'll need, let's look at what number 4 in your guide says. Determine the people needed to carry out each action, and ask the following questions. How many people will you need? Who has the skill required to do the work? Who will benefit by being involved in the work? Will you be involved directly? Are the people you want committed to other responsibilities? Determine the budget needed to accomplish each action. Consider salaries and cost of support services, supplies and materials, special equipment, experts outside the organization such as attorneys, consultants, and specialists, training for staff not skilled in this work, travel expenses, other direct and indirect expenses. Determine other resources needed to accomplish each action, and consider the following: special facilities, access to information, cooperation from outside the organization. The fourth important thing you must do when determining tasks and resources is coordinate with internal and external partners. Ask these questions. Will accomplishing your tasks hinder other areas of the organization? Is your plan dependent on other areas of the organization for supplies and resources? Will accomplishing your tasks affect partners outside the organization? Before the plan is finalized, people who can influence the outcome or have a stake in it must be committed to the project scope, schedule, and resource expense. You'll have opportunities during each step of the planning process to gain this commitment. For example, when you assign responsibility for tasks, involve those responsible for carrying out the functions in the planning process. This promotes ownership and empowerment. Those closest to the actual work usually know the best way to do it and how long it will take. And finally, the fifth important thing you must do is anticipate and plan for risks and opportunities. Number 7 in your guide says, ask questions to uncover potential risks and opportunities. Examine the plan and ask the following questions. Which assumptions might be incorrect? What are some potential changes in resources, customer or client needs, or technology? Are there any potential staffing changes coming up? What needed resources have the most significant impact on the budget? After getting the answers you need, do what number 8 in your guide says. Develop strategies and contingency plans. After evaluating the risks and opportunities of the plan, develop plans to avoid crises and take advantage of opportunities. That's all the time we have today for key number 2. Join me in the next lesson that explains the third key action, the importance of schedules.